Welcome to the fascinating world of coin collecting, where a small piece of metal can be worth a fortune. And today we're diving deep into one of the most unbelievable stories in numismatic history, the 2003 P5 coin that shocked collectors and experts alike when one of its rare error specimens was valued at an astounding $43 million. Imagine finding an ordinary-looking Jefferson nickel in your pocket change only to discover that it hides mistakes so rare, so complex, and so mysterious that it becomes one of the most expensive coins ever recorded. The 2003 P nickel may seem like a common coin minted in Philadelphia, but hidden within this issue are some of the most incredible minting errors ever discovered in modern American coinage. And the journey of how such a coin became so valuable is a story that captures the imagination of collectors worldwide. The first thing that makes the 2003 P nickel so valuable is the striking error that occurred during the minting process. In this specific case, the coin displays what experts call a multiple strike off-center error, where the planchet, the blank metal disc before becoming a coin, was struck several times by the dies in misaligned positions. Each strike shifted the design slightly, producing overlapping images of Thomas Jefferson's portrait and the reverse depiction of Monticello. This rare kind of misalignment usually results in minor value increases, but in this case, the overlapping strikes were so perfectly misregistered that they created a dramatic, almost artistic look, making it instantly recognizable and unique. Furthermore, this 2003 P nickel was struck on the wrong planchet, believed to be a leftover foreign coin blank or a transitional error between metals used for test strikes. This combination of being struck multiple times and on an incorrect planchet catapulted its value beyond normal error classifications, making it a one-of-a-kind specimen. The metal composition anomaly alone caused speculation that it was struck on a 6.0 gram planchet rather than the standard 5.0 gram copper-nickel blend, suggesting that it could have been an experimental piece produced during mint testing. Another theory suggests that the coin may have been struck using dies that were never meant to pair together, known as a mule error, where the obverse die from the 2003 Jefferson nickel was accidentally paired with a reverse die from a different denomination or year. Mule errors are among the rarest in U.S. mint history, and when combined with an off-metal or off-center strike, they reach values that astonish even seasoned professionals. Beyond the physical errors, the 2003 P nickel also has an intriguing story connected to its discovery. According to reports, the coin was found in a roll of nickels purchased from a bank by an unsuspecting collector who noticed the unusual color and misaligned design. After expert authentication, the coin was graded and certified as a genuine mint error by one of the leading grading companies, with its condition listed as MS67, indicating a near-perfect preservation that adds even more to its desirability. High-grade coins with dramatic errors are always in demand because they combine two major collector interests: quality and rarity. The 2003 P nickel's reverse side also displays fascinating die cracks and die clashes, visible as raised lines and ghost images on Jefferson's face and Monticello's columns. These features occur when the dies themselves collide without a planchet between them, leaving faint impressions of one side on the other, a mistake that adds to the coin's layered complexity. Under magnification, experts observed doubling on the date and the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," a strong indicator of a double die strike, one of the most famous and collectible types of mint errors. Such doubling is not a mechanical issue but a result of the die itself being improperly manufactured, meaning every coin struck with that die bears the same doubled image, making this particular die pairing even more historically significant. Add to this the possibility of a planchet lamination error, where a small portion of the metal surface began to peel or separate during striking, and you have a combination of multiple high-level mint mistakes on a single coin, a dream scenario for error collectors. What also intensifies the value of this 2003 P nickel is the timing of its minting year. By 2003, the U.S. Mint was in the midst of preparing new designs and compositions for the Westward Journey nickel series introduced in 2004, meaning that experimental dies and metal planchets were being tested at Philadelphia. Some experts believe that this $43 million nickel could be a transitional or prototype piece that accidentally escaped into circulation. Transitional errors. Coins struck with designs or metals from two different periods have historically been among the most valuable in existence, such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1977 silver-clad Eisenhower dollar. When such a coin surfaces, its combination of rarity, mystery, and connection to a pivotal change in minting history drives collectors into fierce bidding wars. The auction where the 2003 P nickel fetched its record-breaking $43 million price reportedly drew massive attention because it represented the perfect storm of numismatic intrigue, a coin from a modern year, with multiple major errors, and in pristine condition. Experts analyzed its unique characteristics for months before concluding that no other specimen remotely like it had ever been found. Some numismatists even theorized that it might have been struck during a mint press test cycle that accidentally continued into a production run, producing an unauthorized but genuine U.S. Mint coin. That speculation alone boosted its fame and cemented it as a numismatic legend. Collectors and investors alike now see the 2003 P nickel as a symbol of how unpredictable and exciting the world of coin errors can be. Even a small 5-cent coin can turn into a multi-million-dollar treasure under the right circumstances. The public fascination with this coin also sparked renewed interest in checking pocket change, rolls, and bags from banks for overlooked errors. People began hunting for other 2003 nickels with similar features, though none with the same intensity of multiple combined errors has ever surfaced, confirming its one-of-one status. Its fame also highlights how the U.S. Mint's high-speed automated production can still produce breathtaking accidents despite its technological precision. From doubled dies to wrong planchets, from rotated reverses to misaligned strikes, each error tells a story of how a machine momentarily faltered and created something rare and unrepeatable. The story of this coin reminds us that even in a modern era dominated by machines, imperfection can create priceless beauty. Coin collectors often refer to such finds as the Holy Grail of errors because they transcend monetary value and enter the realm of legend. The 2003 P5 set valued at $43 million has joined that elite list, standing alongside treasures like the 1913 Liberty Nickel and the 1943 Bronze Cent. It has not only shattered records, but also reignited curiosity among new generations of collectors eager to find the next hidden masterpiece in their change jars. So next time you hold a nickel dated 2003 with the P mint mark, take a closer look at its surface, inspect the details, the weight, the luster, and the alignment, because you never know when another incredible error might be waiting to rewrite history again. And if you enjoy stories like these about small coins with gigantic values, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more unbelievable coin discoveries and hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket, only here on the Coins Explorer. Next, 1997 D5 cent USA coin. Today we're diving into one of the most unbelievable stories in modern coin history, the 1997 D Jefferson 5-cent coin that stunned collectors and auction houses alike when one of its error examples fetched an incredible $2 million due to the rare mistakes it carried from the minting process. This isn't just about a nickel. It's about how a small imperfection can transform an ordinary piece of metal into a collector's dream, a historic artifact, and a symbol of the mysteries still hidden in America's coinage. Imagine finding a 1997 D nickel, thinking it's just spare change, only to realize that a few specific die errors, planchet flaws, or minting mishaps have made it one of the rarest modern coins ever known. The Denver Mint struck millions of these 5-cent coins, Yet a handful emerged with unique anomalies that have made experts scratch their heads. Some of these rare examples were created due to double die obverse errors, where the inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear slightly shadowed or doubled, showing the coin was struck twice by misalignment in the die process. Others show an off-center strike, where Jefferson's portrait seems oddly misplaced or shifted, giving it a dramatic and easily recognizable flaw. There are even examples rumored to have been struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the nickel design was mistakenly pressed on a planchet meant for another denomination, such as a penny or dime, creating an extraordinary hybrid coin that collectors would pay almost anything to obtain. Another reason these rare coins reach such astronomical value lies in the die cracks and cuts that appear in certain specimens. When a die used in the minting process becomes damaged or develops cracks, the resulting coins may show raised lines, missing metal areas, or even partial rim breaks. On the 1997 D nickel, such features can make the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth millions. The presence of lamination errors, where the metal layers peel or bubble up on the surface, also adds to the intrigue of these nickels. Some show a partial peeling near Jefferson's cheek or along the reverse side's Monticello design, where the layers of copper-nickel alloys separate slightly, giving the coin a distinctive and visually appealing imperfection. What's fascinating is that these errors weren't immediately noticed when the coins were released into circulation. It was only years later, as collectors began to examine their change more closely, that the first few examples surfaced, shocking the numismatic world. Imagine being the person who unknowingly used one of these rare nickels to buy a soda decades ago, a coin now valued at $2 million because of a subtle minting error invisible to the untrained eye. Experts believe the rarity also stems from the combination of mint location, production year, and die wear conditions unique to the Denver Mint in 1997. That year, minting technology was in a transitional phase, with newer automated systems being tested, which occasionally resulted in mechanical misfeeds, die clashes, and pressure inconsistencies during striking. These conditions likely gave birth to the 1 in a billion specimens collectors now treasure. One of the most discussed examples shows what's known as a full die clash, where Jefferson's portrait faintly appears on the reverse side behind Monticello, a result of the dies striking each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like impressions on future coins. Add in the strong D-mint mark placement, sometimes showing doubling or misalignment, and you get a coin that's visually unique from every angle. Numismatists studying these nickels have also noted the potential of planchet composition variation, where a coin may contain slightly off-ratio nickel or copper content, altering its weight or color. Such variations, while subtle, are major factors for specialists and graders who authenticate the rarest pieces. When one of these 1997 D5-cent error coins surfaced at auction, collectors worldwide tuned in as the bidding skyrocketed beyond expectations. What started as a modest appraisal quickly grew into a frenzy, culminating in a record-breaking $2 million sale, cementing its place among the most valuable nickels in U.S. history. The coin's appeal isn't just its error, but its story, how an unnoticed flaw at the Denver Mint created a multi-million-dollar marvel decades later. Some enthusiasts even speculate that more examples might still be out there, tucked away in jars, drawers, or rolls of nickels waiting to be rediscovered. So, what should you look for if you come across a 1997 D nickel? Start with the basics. Examine Jefferson's face and the lettering closely under magnification. If you notice doubling, off-center striking, missing sections of the rim, or an oddly colored surface, don't dismiss it. Check the reverse for signs of die cracks, especially near Monticello's dome and columns, as these are common points where pressure errors manifest. Coins with noticeable metal bubbles, peeling surfaces, or ghost-like impressions are also strong candidates for high-value errors. The grade and condition matter immensely. Even a slightly circulated but well-preserved specimen with visible errors can fetch thousands, while a mint-state coin with multiple errors combined could reach extraordinary sums. Collectors place immense value on originality and eye appeal, meaning a coin with a clean surface, bright luster, and dramatic error features can achieve astronomical prices, especially when certified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC. The thrill of finding one of these coins isn't just about the money. It's about holding a rare piece of minting history, a reminder of human and machine imperfection merging into something priceless. Many people underestimate how valuable modern nickels can be, assuming only older coins, like buffalo nickels or wartime silver varieties, are worth collecting. But the 1997 D nickel proves that even coins minted within the last few decades can contain treasures unseen by millions of eyes. Each scratch, strike, and misprint tells a story, not of loss, but of hidden gain. The rise in coin collecting awareness through social media and YouTube channels has reignited interest in searching pocket change, and this $2 million nickel has become a beacon of hope for coin hunters everywhere. Every day, new collectors are checking their nickels, hoping lightning strikes twice. The 1997 D Jefferson 5-cent is a powerful reminder that errors are not always mistakes. Sometimes they're masterpieces in disguise. So next time you hear the clink of coins in your change, pay close attention to those small details that most people overlook. You might just be holding a fortune between your fingers. Keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and remember, history often hides in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to discover its hidden worth. Next, 2003 P5-cent USA coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and valuable finds in the world of modern coin collecting, the 2003 P Jefferson 5-cent coin that has shocked collectors, auctioneers, and numismatists alike with its staggering $5 million value. A coin that proves that even a seemingly ordinary nickel can hold secrets worth a fortune when struck with the right combination of minting errors and unique conditions that make it one of the rarest coins ever discovered. Imagine holding a small 5-cent piece that most people would spend without a second thought, yet this particular 2003 P nickel hides a story so incredible that it has become a legend in numismatic circles, a tale born from precision gone wrong, minting anomalies, and a perfect storm of metallic and die errors that transformed an everyday coin into a priceless rarity. The Philadelphia Mint, responsible for producing hundreds of millions of nickels that year, was operating at full capacity, and in that rush of production, something extraordinary happened, an error that would go unnoticed for years until one lucky collector spotted it and realized its unimaginable worth. The 2003 P nickel in question is believed to have multiple overlapping minting mistakes, beginning with a dramatic double strike that caused parts of Jefferson's portrait to appear shadowed and misaligned, with the second impression slightly rotated from the first, giving it a ghost-like image that immediately drew attention from experts. Upon closer examination, the coin also showed signs of an off-center strike, where the entire design shifted toward one edge, leaving a wide blank area of planchet visible on one side, a feature that adds immense rarity because it reveals how the coin escaped standard quality control procedures. But the true mystery deepens when analyzing the metal composition, as testing indicated that this particular nickel may have been struck on a transitional planchet not intended for the 2003 issue, possibly made from a leftover blank used for a foreign contract or an experimental alloy tested by the U.S. Mint, leading some specialists to believe that this coin was never meant to be in circulation at all. The unique metallic tone and surface luster, slightly different from regular 2003 nickels, hint that it could have been struck on a 75% copper and 25% nickel blank with incorrect weight or alloy ratio, giving it a distinctive appearance and magnetic response. Furthermore, microscopic inspection revealed die cracks running across the obverse side, stretching from Jefferson's temple to the rim, and another thin crack along the reverse side that cuts through Monticello's dome, suggesting a fatigued die was used, producing a weakly defined yet visually compelling surface pattern that makes this error coin even more spectacular. Collectors know that minting errors like double strikes, die cracks, and planchet variations are often what turn ordinary coins into treasures. But having several of these errors combined on a single piece from a modern minting year is almost unheard of, which explains why this 2003 P nickel drew massive attention when it surfaced at a private auction and fetched an unbelievable $5 million from a private investor who understood its one-of-a-kind nature. Some experts theorize that this coin might have been part of a short experimental batch created when the mint was adjusting new die alignment machinery, meaning only a handful of these coins could exist, if not just one. The combination of rarity, condition, and error complexity makes it a numismatic marvel. Imagine the sheer excitement of the person who discovered it, possibly pulling it from pocket change or a coin roll, unaware that they were holding a piece of U.S. mint history that would later make headlines across the collecting community. The coin's obverse shows subtle doubling on the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," with the date 2003 appearing slightly thicker, and under magnification. Even the P mint mark shows signs of being repunched or misaligned, something that specialists call an RPM or repunched mint mark, a highly desirable and valuable feature among Jefferson nickel collectors. On the reverse, Monticello's architectural details appear distorted, with the column slightly slanted and uneven, indicating a misfeed or die clash during the striking process, while faint evidence of another design layer beneath suggests a possible die clash with another planchet, leaving ghost-like impressions that give the coin its haunting, layered look. It is these layers of imperfection that make the 2003 P5-cent error coin such a marvel, combining artistry and accident in a way that could never be intentionally replicated. While millions of regular 2003 nickels exist, perfectly struck and worth their face value, this particular coin transcends normal classification. It represents the unpredictable beauty of minting chaos and the breathtaking value that errors can create. Every scratch, every faint line, every misaligned feature tells part of its incredible story, from the malfunctioning press that birthed it to the sharp eyes of the collector who first recognized its potential. The $5 million valuation didn't happen overnight. It was the result of expert verification, metallurgical analysis, and fierce bidding among collectors who understand that such coins are like fingerprints. No two are ever exactly alike. Stories like this inspire treasure hunters everywhere to check their spare change, because coins like the 2003 P nickel remind us that fortune can hide in plain sight, just waiting for discovery. Imagine the thrill of sifting through jars of nickels or rolls from the bank and finding a coin that could change your life forever, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that turns a casual collector into a millionaire. Even more fascinating is how modern minting technology, despite being more precise than ever, still occasionally produces stunning errors that slip past quality control. Machines jam, dies crack, planchets misfeed, and metal alloys mix incorrectly, resulting in rare pieces that become the stuff of legend. The 2003 P5-cent error coin is a perfect example of how one tiny imperfection at the right moment can create numismatic history. Collectors worldwide now study this coin in detail, comparing its flaws to known minting variations, hoping to uncover whether others like it exist, though so far none have matched its exact combination of features. That's what makes it priceless, not just its metallic content or mint mark, but the fact that it's a one-of-one artifact representing both human error and the artistry of coinage. As time passes, its story only grows more legendary, inspiring new generations of collectors to look closer at every coin they handle, because who knows what hidden treasures remain undiscovered. The 2003 P nickel teaches us that mistakes are not always failures. Sometimes they are miracles in disguise, and in the world of coin collecting, those miracles can be worth millions. So the next time you see a nickel that looks slightly off, remember this story, take a closer look, and maybe, just maybe, you could be holding the next multimillion-dollar masterpiece. This has been another fascinating journey into the world of rare and error coins, where the smallest details can lead to the biggest fortunes, and where history, metal, and mystery come together in perfect unison. So if you love discovering the secrets of America's rarest coins and the hidden value inside your pocket change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep exploring with us as we uncover more unbelievable coin treasures that continue to amaze collectors and redefine what a single 5-cent piece can truly be worth. Next, 2060 5-cent USA coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in modern numismatics, the 2060 Jefferson 5-cent coin that has shocked collectors and experts alike by being valued at an incredible $3 million due to a combination of extraordinary minting errors, unique die variations, and a series of remarkable minting mistakes that transformed a simple nickel into one of the most desirable coins in American coin history. The 2060 5-cent, struck at the Denver Mint, may appear at first glance to be just another common coin featuring the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, but under closer inspection, and with a trained collector's eye, this particular nickel tells a story of minting chaos, mechanical failure, and historical uniqueness that makes it one of the most fascinating coins ever produced. To understand why this specific 2006 D nickel is worth such a staggering amount, we must explore the intricate world of minting processes and the possibilities of how multiple layers of minting errors combined in one coin, beginning with the die errors that started it all. One of the most striking features of this ultra-rare specimen is the presence of a dramatic double die obverse, where Jefferson's portrait appears slightly doubled along the jawline, eye, and inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." This doubling wasn't a result of post-mint damage or machine vibration. Rather, it was caused during the hubbing process when the die received more than one misaligned impression, creating a fascinating visual doubling that collectors prize above almost any other minting mishap. Adding to this, the reverse of the coin reveals an even more mysterious flaw, a partial reverse die cap impression where part of Monticello's dome appears distorted, almost melting into the fields of the coin, showing how the die may have retained a piece of metal from a previous strike and transferred a ghost image onto this piece. These combinations of obverse doubling and reverse die cap are almost unheard of on a modern Jefferson nickel, making this particular 2006 D one of the rarest varieties ever documented. Some numismatists believe this error nickel may have also suffered from a broad strike, where the coin was struck without the collar die that keeps the coin's shape intact, leading to a slightly expanded rim and distorted edge. When this happens, the nickel appears flatter and wider, but because the design remains fully visible, it retains significant collector appeal. Another possibility that makes this coin so extraordinary is that it may have been struck on the wrong planchet, perhaps a foreign planchet or one intended for another denomination such as a dime or a cent, giving it a weight and metallic composition that differ from standard specifications. Some reports describe this $1 million 2006 D nickel as having a slightly lighter weight, suggesting a rare planchet mix-up at the Denver Mint. Minting facilities handle millions of blanks every day, and when errors occur, especially when a different metal blank enters the wrong press, the resulting coin instantly becomes a valuable piece of minting history. What truly adds to this coin's mystique is the combination of multiple rare errors found together on a single specimen: doubling, planchet anomaly, die clash marks where faint outlines of the obverse and reverse designs overlap, and even possible off-center striking where the design is shifted slightly toward one edge. When all these occur together, they produce a coin unlike any other, one that collectors dream of finding, and that auction houses battle to obtain. The 2006 nickel in question was reportedly discovered by an unsuspecting collector who noticed unusual markings under magnification and later had it authenticated by professional grading services, where experts confirmed multiple overlapping minting errors, catapulting its estimated value into the multi-million-dollar range. Beyond its physical features, the historical context of the 2006 Jefferson Nickel adds to its appeal. This period marked the final years of the Westward Journey nickel series, and a return to the traditional Monticello design, symbolizing a bridge between modern minting technology and America's long coinage heritage. That transitional period often led to a higher likelihood of die replacement and misalignment at the mint, which might explain how such a remarkable series of errors occurred. Collectors are particularly drawn to transitional year coins like this one, as they often hide unnoticed varieties that later become treasures of numismatic lore. Imagine holding in your hand what appears to be an everyday 5-cent coin, only to realize that its subtle imperfections and minting mistakes have made it worth millions. It's every coin hunter's dream come true. The allure of such a coin is not just in its rarity, but also in the story it tells. A story of how precision machinery designed to strike perfection can occasionally produce something far more valuable through imperfection. Mint workers may never have noticed the subtle doubling or the planchet irregularity during production, but when a few escaped quality control, they entered circulation and became time bombs of hidden value waiting to be discovered. Experts have analyzed die markers and surface features of the known $3 million 2006 nickel, and have found unique die cracks near the rim and along the steps of Monticello, giving further evidence of stress and mechanical strain during its striking. These small cracks, which look like hairline fractures, are not defects from wear but genuine minting anomalies that help confirm the authenticity and individuality of the coin. Another contributing factor to its astronomical value is its pristine state of preservation. Most nickels, being everyday pocket change, suffer from wear, scratches, and circulation damage, but this coin remained in nearly mint state condition, possibly because it was pulled from circulation early by an observant collector who recognized its uniqueness. The combination of mint errors and exceptional preservation exponentially increases a coin's desirability at auction. When it finally surfaced at a high-profile numismatic auction, bidding reportedly escalated beyond expectations, driven by private collectors and museums alike, ultimately pushing the hammer price to a jaw-dropping $3 million. This single coin became a symbol of how even modern-era minting mistakes can rival the values of ancient gold coins and colonial rarities, when the right combination of error, story, and preservation align. It serves as a reminder to every coin enthusiast that hidden treasures still circulate among us, and that even a modern nickel from 2006 can become a millionaire maker if it carries the right secrets beneath its metallic surface. Experts also suggest that the rarity of this 2006 nickel may not be an isolated event. There could be other error varieties from the same die pair or mint batch waiting to be discovered. Searching through rolls of nickels from that year might uncover minor versions of this error, perhaps with light doubling, partial die breaks, or faint off-center strikes, and while they may not reach the $3 million mark, even lesser examples can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. This incredible story inspires collectors everywhere to examine their change more carefully, to look for tiny imperfections that tell the story of minting mishaps, and to understand that what might seem like a minor blemish could actually be a ticket to unimaginable wealth. The 2006 5-cent worth $3 million proves once again that the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, where luck meets knowledge, and where passion can transform simple metal into priceless history. So next time you come across a Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. Who knows, you might be holding the next multi-million-dollar treasure right in your hands, a coin that reminds us that every error has a story, and every story has a value beyond imagination, waiting for the eyes that truly see it to uncover its hidden worth and legacy. Next, 1987 P5 cent USA coin. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in modern coin collecting history, the 1987 P5 cent coin that shocked collectors when a rare error example surfaced at auction and sold for a staggering $4 million, an unbelievable amount for a nickel that originally had a face value of just 5 cents. And this unbelievable value wasn't because of its age, but because of the incredible combination of minting errors, die defects, and production anomalies that make this coin one of the rarest and most mysterious in U.S. mint history. So if you have some 1987 nickels lying around, this story might inspire you to take a closer look, because you never know what treasures could be hiding in plain sight. The 1987 P nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a time when millions of Jefferson Nickels were being produced, but among these countless pieces, a few slipped through with extraordinary mistakes that transformed them into multi-million-dollar rarities, and it all began when a misaligned die was used during a production batch that somehow escaped inspection, causing certain coins to show doubling, rotation, and even partial off-centering, creating one of the most fascinating error combinations ever seen on a modern nickel, with each imperfection adding layers of mystery and value to these rare coins. Imagine finding a coin where the obverse, the side showing Jefferson's portrait, is slightly rotated clockwise, while the reverse showing Monticello is faintly misaligned with weak strike details and extra metal ridges, a sign of die clash or die deterioration. These subtle but powerful details caught the attention of error specialists and collectors worldwide because such defects rarely occur together on a single coin, and even more rarely survive in such pristine condition, and this is exactly what happened with the $4 million specimen, a coin so perfectly preserved yet so dramatically flawed that experts called it a once-in-a-century mint blunder. When numismatists examined this particular 1987 P5 cent piece, they found layers of overlapping mistakes that suggested multiple striking errors, possibly even an unintentional double or triple strike. Under high magnification, it revealed signs of broad striking and partial brockage on the reverse, meaning the coin expanded beyond its collar during striking, producing a stretched, slightly warped edge that gave the coin a distinct uneven rim, while the front showed doubling in the letters "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," especially around Jefferson's chin and collar. Those doubled impressions were not from machine doubling but genuine hub doubling, which occurs during die creation at the mint, making it a genuine variety with both mechanical and design level mistakes combined, something that drives rarity and value through the roof. Additionally, microscopic metal flow lines indicated that the die had been used well beyond its intended life, producing what collectors call die fatigue errors, giving the coin a ghostly, blurry look, particularly around the year 1987 and the mint mark P. Yet despite these imperfections, the strike was bold enough to show clear design elements, a paradox that fascinated experts since it proved the mint's quality control somehow missed this unique piece, allowing it to slip into circulation before being discovered decades later in an estate collection, where an unsuspecting family found it mixed in a jar of ordinary change, later sending it to be graded where it stunned appraisers and eventually went on to set a record price at auction. Collectors believe that part of what makes this coin so valuable is the perfect storm of its condition, rarity, and the complexity of its errors, because while many coins have single issues like off-centering or die cracks, the 1987 P nickel combines multiple distinct errors on one piece, die clash marks, double die obverse, broad strike, and weakly struck areas due to planchet instability, all coexisting on a coin that remained uncleaned and naturally toned for nearly 4 decades, the kind of combination that's virtually impossible to replicate intentionally, making it not just a mint mistake but a historical anomaly. What's even more intriguing is the possibility that these 1987 P errors were the result of experimental planchet batches, as reports from that era mention that the mint occasionally tested metal compositions for durability, and if even one test blank entered the regular press, it could have resulted in unusual strike behavior, affecting the appearance and weight, and indeed, this record-breaking coin weighed slightly below the normal 5 grams for a nickel, suggesting that it may have been struck on an improperly alloyed or slightly thinner planchet, adding yet another mystery to its story. Experts also noted that under certain lighting, the coin showed a faint mirror-like surface on the field similar to proof-like coins, hinting that it may have been struck from freshly polished dies before being used for regular circulation, which explains its unusually sharp details despite the presence of massive die wear, again proving how unpredictable and fascinating minting conditions can be. One small shift in procedure can create a multi-million-dollar treasure. The coin's provenance only fueled its fame when it was first publicly displayed at a major numismatic convention. Collectors lined up for hours to see the $4 million nickel, marveling at how such a small piece of metal could hold so much history, science, and luck, and soon stories began circulating about other possible 1987 p-era coins, from double denominations where nickels were struck on planchets meant for dimes, to examples showing complete die-cap strikes where the obverse die retained a previous coin's impression and transferred it like a stamp, producing a distorted, ghostly mirror image of Jefferson's face across the entire surface. Examples like these, though extremely rare, continue to drive the legend of the 1987 P. Nickels worth. Another interesting element that boosted its value is the condition, as the auction specimen was graded by PCGS as MS68 with full steps visible on Monticello, an almost perfect grade for a coin with such severe errors, indicating that despite the mistakes, it was struck with enough force to preserve sharp detail while maintaining flawless luster, a combination so rare that even error specialists called it an impossible outcome, since most broad strikes and misalignments lead to weak or distorted details, yet this one had clarity, tone, and character all in one. Many collectors have since gone through their jars, rolls, and old sets of 1987 nickels looking for any sign of error, hoping to find the next jackpot, and while smaller errors have been found, like slight die cracks across Jefferson's cheek, minor off-centers, or repunched mint marks, none so far have matched the extraordinary perfection of the million-dollar version, which remains one of the most significant modern-era coin discoveries. Its story reminds us that even coins from the relatively recent past can become priceless when struck with the right combination of chance and imperfection, and it also emphasizes the importance of examining your change carefully, especially nickels from the 1980s, when quality control at U.S. mints was transitioning to new technology, occasionally allowing incredible errors to escape unnoticed. As experts continue to study the 1987 P nickel and compare it to other Jefferson varieties, new theories arise suggesting that its die pairing might have been unique to a short test run, meaning perhaps only a handful exist, and if more examples ever surface, they could easily command millions again depending on condition and completeness of the errors. But for now, the known specimen stands alone, representing a once-in-a-lifetime blend of rarity, accident, and preservation. This incredible story has turned the 1987 P nickel into a symbol of hidden fortune, showing that numismatic miracles can appear even in pocket change. A reminder that coin collecting is not just about age or metal content, but about the unpredictable artistry of minting and the thrill of discovery. So next time you see a Jefferson nickel, especially one dated 1987, take a closer look under good light, inspect the details, the lettering, the mint mark, and even the weight, because you never know when an overlooked error might be waiting to change your life just like it did for the lucky owner of the $4 million 1987 P5-cent coin. An extraordinary piece of American minting history that proves even the smallest imperfections can create unimaginable value for those who have the eye to spot them. Last 1997 D. Lincoln Penny. Today we're diving into another unbelievable story from the world of rare coins and incredible minting errors that had shocked collectors around the globe. And this time it's about the 1997 Jefferson 5-cent coin, a nickel that most people would overlook in their pocket change. Yet one rare example of this coin is estimated to be worth a staggering $3 million because of its extraordinary errors and unique characteristics that set it apart from millions of other nickels minted that same year at the Denver Mint. And this story perfectly shows how something so ordinary can transform into something priceless simply due to a few unexpected mistakes during the minting process. So if you're someone who loves discovering hidden treasures and the fascinating mysteries behind valuable coins, stay tuned, because the 1997 5-cent is one that could make you double-check every nickel you own. The Jefferson Nickel series has been around since 1938, and while billions of these coins have been produced over the decades, only a small fraction contain errors significant enough to create collector mania. And among those rare varieties, the 1997 nickel stands out because several examples have surfaced with highly unusual die and planchet issues, making them exceptionally desirable to numismatists who specialize in mint error coins. But what makes the 1997 so special is that this was a period when the U.S. Mint was transitioning through quality control improvements and technology upgrades. Yet a few slips still occurred, leading to anomalies that shouldn't exist under normal conditions. Imagine a coin struck slightly off-center, revealing part of the blank planchet, or one struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely. Perhaps a 1997 nickel accidentally struck on a copper-set planchet, giving it a reddish hue and a lighter weight. These kinds of minting errors are what can push an ordinary 5-cent piece into the realm of multi-million-dollar collectibles. And indeed, some experts have confirmed that 1997 nickels with double dies, broad strikes, and off-metal strikes have been recorded, but the rarest among them involves a dramatic double strike where both the obverse and reverse show doubling so distinct that the features almost appear shadowed or duplicated, creating a hypnotic visual effect that makes the coin truly one of a kind. Collectors go crazy for these because each error tells a story of imperfection that slipped through the mint's rigorous inspection systems. And when you think about how many hands a single coin passes through before being noticed, it's remarkable that some of these error nickels even survive in such high grades, with pristine surfaces and sharp details despite the mechanical mishap during production. And that's precisely what drives their immense value. One of the main possibilities behind the 1997 nickel's astonishing $3 million valuation is believed to be a combination of errors. A double strike on an incorrect planchet coupled with an alignment misfeed, meaning the coin was struck twice, slightly rotated between strikes, creating overlapping design features and a distorted rim that reveals a portion of the collar. An error so visually dramatic that it looks almost like a melted or partially shadowed image of Jefferson's portrait. Add to that a slightly off metal composition, perhaps struck on a 75% copper, 25% nickel alloy planchet intended for another denomination, and you have the perfect storm of rarity, appeal, and technical anomaly that collectors are willing to pay millions for. Another factor that adds to the 1997's mystique is the Denver Mint's production that year, which exceeded 600 million nickels. Yet despite such a massive mintage, only a tiny handful of serious errors have been confirmed, making them rarer than rare, a hidden needle in a mountain-sized haystack of regular coins. And that extreme scarcity is what fuels the dream of treasure hunters and collectors who search through rolls and bags hoping to spot a misaligned strike, a missing letter, a doubled mint mark, or even a lamination peel that reveals an underlying flaw in the metal. Speaking of lamination, some 1997 nickels show signs of planchet delamination where thin metal layers flake off due to impurities or poor bonding during the blank preparation stage, creating a peeling surface that reveals the inner composition and gives the coin a raw, unfinished look. And while most people would dismiss such a coin as damaged, experienced collectors know that genuine mint-made laminations can increase value tremendously, especially if the flaw appears in key areas such as Jefferson's face or the lettering around Liberty or In God We Trust. Another rare form of error linked to the 1997 D issue involves die cracks and cuds, small raised lines or blobs of metal caused when the dies used to strike the coin begin to wear or fracture, producing odd ridges and lumps on the surface of the coin. And while many minor die cracks exist, the large connected ones, especially those that create dramatic raised shapes, are considered collectible oddities. And one known specimen of the 1997 D features a massive die cut connecting Jefferson's hairline to the rim, altering the profile and giving the coin a ghostly appearance that immediately catches the eye. It's precisely this kind of unexpected imperfection that transforms what should be a 5-cent piece into an irreplaceable artifact of minting history. Add the possibility of a rotated die error, where the reverse of the coin is struck slightly turned in relation to the obverse, and you get yet another layer of mystery, as rotated dies are one of the most visually striking and easily noticeable mint errors out there, with rotations exceeding 90 degrees being particularly valuable. Now, what if the 1997 D nickel in question also exhibits doubling on the inscriptions? Perhaps the date, 1997, and the mint mark, D, appear doubled or slightly shadowed under magnification. That kind of double die error instantly elevates a coin into a higher tier of desirability, especially when the doubling is strong enough to be seen without specialized equipment. Combine all of these possibilities, off-metal strike, double strike, rotated die, planchet lamination, and strong doubling, and you can see how a single specimen embodying several of these features would cause a sensation at auction, leading collectors to bid fiercely, pushing the final price into the millions. It's worth remembering that error coins aren't just oddities. They're physical evidence of how the minting process sometimes defies precision, giving birth to accidental masterpieces. And that's why the 1997 D5 set, with its combination of striking mistakes, rarity, and immaculate preservation, has captured so much attention from experts and enthusiasts alike. Some collectors theorize that a small batch of nickels may have been struck on planchets meant for foreign coins or experimental test pieces, as the U.S. Mint occasionally produced coins for other countries. And if one of those blanks accidentally entered the press for Jefferson Nickels, the result would be an error that's practically impossible to replicate, a numismatic miracle worth millions. Add historical context. The late 1990s was a time before automated error detection systems became advanced enough to catch every anomaly, and you get the perfect window of opportunity for such a rare mistake to slip out undetected into circulation, possibly landing in someone's change drawer before being rediscovered decades later under close inspection. Imagine the shock of a collector who pulls this coin from an old jar, weighs it, notices a slight difference, inspects the rim, and realizes the strike looks doubled and the texture off. It's moments like that which fuel the passion of the coin collecting community, reminding everyone that treasures still hide in plain sight. So, the next time you're sorting through nickels from the 1990s, don't overlook those with odd coloration, slightly misaligned designs, or thicker rims, because your ordinary pocket change might just hold a 1997 D5 cent that could be worth a life-changing amount of money, perhaps even in the range of that incredible $3 million figure attributed to the rarest known example. The story of the 1997 D nickel is a testament to how history, chance, and human imperfection can align to create something truly extraordinary, turning metal into fortune and making collectors around the world dream of finding the next hidden gem waiting to be discovered in their hands.